Welcome to the Bare Metal Cyber CISSP Prepcast. This series helps you prepare for the ISSP Squared exam with focused explanations and practical context. In this episode, we are going to discuss metrics and key performance indicators, also known as KPIs, as they relate to security performance. Metrics and KPIs are not just numbers. They are the backbone of how we evaluate, justify, and continuously improve our cybersecurity efforts. They help us understand where we are, where we need to go, and whether we are on the right track. If you are preparing to become a certified information systems security professional, you need to know how to define, collect, interpret, and act on security metrics in a way that supports organizational goals, risk management strategies, and regulatory requirements. Let us begin with why metrics and KPIs matter. In cybersecurity, success is often invisible. If nothing bad happens, it can be hard to show that your security program is working. This is where metrics come in. They provide evidence, quantitative, measurable, and comparable evidence that allows you to track performance over time, identify strengths and weaknesses, and communicate progress to stakeholders. Effective security metrics offer clear visibility into the state of your program. They tell you whether your patch management process is keeping up, how quickly you detect and respond to threats, whether your user training program is effective, and whether your systems are compliant with internal policies or external regulations. These metrics enable you to manage risk proactively, make strategic decisions, and demonstrate the value of your security investment. Metrics and KPIs also support transparency and accountability. They help show that your organization is not just claiming to be secure, but is actively measuring and managing its security posture. This is especially important for audits, board-level reporting, and regulatory compliance. Stakeholders need to see progress, understand priorities, and trust that security risks are being addressed systematically. Now let us explore the characteristics of effective metrics. Not all metrics are useful. Some may be interesting but offer little value for decision-making. Others may be too vague, too technical, or disconnected from organizational goals. To be effective, security metrics must meet several. First, metrics must be relevant. They should align directly with your organization's security objectives, business goals, and regulatory obligations. For example, if your organization prioritizes data protection, then metrics related to encryption, access control, and data loss prevention are especially important. Second, metrics must be quantifiable. That means they produce objective, numeric results that can be measured, compared, and tracked over time. You should be able to answer questions like, is our patch compliance improving, or are we responding to incidents faster than last quarter with data, not just impressions? Third, effective metrics must be actionable. They should highlight areas where action is needed and help prioritize efforts. A good metric leads to a decision or behavior change. For instance, if a metric shows that only 60% of employees completed their annual security awareness training, that result drives a specific, targeted action. Fourth, metrics must be timely. They should reflect the current state of your systems, not outdated information. If it takes weeks to collect and analyze your data, then your response to emerging threats may be delayed. Timely metrics support real-time or near real-time decision-making. And finally, metrics must be understandable. They must communicate clearly, especially to non-technical stakeholders. If senior leadership cannot interpret the results, then the metrics are not fulfilling their purpose. Avoid overly technical terms and focus on what the metric means in terms of risk, performance, or compliance. Let us now look at examples of key security performance metrics. One of the most common and useful pairs of metrics is mean time to detect, or MTTD, and mean time to respond, or MTTR. These metrics tell you how long it takes, on average, to identify and respond to a security incident. Low detection and response times indicate that your monitoring and incident response processes are working effectively. Patch compliance percentage is another critical metric. It shows what percentage of your systems have the latest security patches installed. High patch compliance indicates that your vulnerability management processes are working, while low compliance suggests risk exposure due to known, unpatched vulnerabilities. The number and severity of security incidents is also a widely used metric. This can include malware, infections, unauthorized access attempts, or data loss events. Tracking the frequency and severity of incidents helps assess your organization's overall risk exposure and the effectiveness of your preventative controls. Another important metric is the percentage of systems meeting compliance requirements. This shows how well your organization aligns with internal policies or external standards like the General Data Protection Regulation or the Payment Card Industry Data Security Standard. This metric is useful for both internal risk management and external audit readiness. And finally, consider tracking your user security awareness training completion rate. This shows how many employees have completed mandatory training programs and helps assess your organization's readiness to defend against social engineering and human error. A high completion rate supports a strong security culture, while a low rate signals potential risk in your human defenses. For more cyber-related content and books, please check out cyberauthor.me. Also, there are other podcasts on cybersecurity and more at baremetalcyber.com. Now let us shift to implementing effective security metrics. The first step is to define your security objectives clearly. What are you trying to protect? What risks are most critical to your organization? Your metrics should tie directly to these goals. For example, if your objective is to reduce unauthorized access, then metrics related to failed login attempts and privilege escalations are relevant. Next, establish standardized collection and reporting methods. Decide how the data will be gathered, how often it will be collected, and how it will be validated. Consistent processes improve the reliability of your metrics and make them easier to interpret over time. Regularly collect, analyze, and report your metrics. Metrics are most useful when they are part of an ongoing cycle, not a one-time snapshot. Use weekly, monthly, or quarterly reporting to identify trends, detect emerging issues, and measure the impact of improvement efforts. Use automated dashboards and analytics platforms to streamline this process. These tools provide real-time visualization, alerting, and historical analysis. They help you monitor key indicators continuously and support faster, data-driven decisions. Finally, provide training for your teams. Analysts, engineers, and managers must understand what the metrics mean, how they are calculated, and how to use them in daily operations. Training helps ensure that metrics are interpreted correctly and used effectively. Security controls play a vital role in supporting metrics management. Monitoring, logging, and analytics systems provide the raw data used for metric calculations. These systems must be configured to capture relevant events and store them securely. Data handling and access control are also important. Metrics data often include sensitive information about system vulnerabilities, incident response performance, or compliance gaps. Protect this data with encryption, access restrictions, and secure storage. Auditing your metrics processes helps ensure that your data is accurate and your reports are trustworthy. Check that your tools are working correctly, your data sources are complete, and your calculations are consistent with your definitions. Integrate your metrics platform with other security tools. Incident response systems, vulnerability scanners, and compliance management platforms all provide useful data for metrics. Integration improves visibility and reduces duplication of effort. Maintain backups and historical archives of your metrics data. This supports long-term trend analysis, audit readiness, and lessons learned reviews. Secure archives also protect against accidental loss or malicious tampering. Continuous improvement is key. Metrics are not static. Review and refine your metrics regularly based on changes in your threat landscape, your business priorities, and your compliance requirements. If a metric is no longer meaningful or is too difficult to collect accurately, replace it. Use incident analysis and feedback from stakeholders to improve your metric selection and reporting processes. Ask what metrics were helpful, what was confusing, and what could be added to provide more value. Cross-functional collaboration improves your metrics program. Security teams, compliance officers, risk managers, and executives must all work together to define, interpret, and act on the data. When everyone has a voice, the metrics are more likely to be meaningful and actionable. Keep training and communication ongoing. Make sure everyone involved in security performance at all levels of the organization understands how to read the dashboards, interpret the trends, and support improvement efforts. Thank you for joining the CISSP Prepcast by Bare Metal Cyber. Visit baremetalcyber.com for additional episodes, comprehensive CISSP study resources, and personalized certification support. Deepen your understanding of metrics and KPIs for security performance, and will consistently support your journey towards CISSP certification success.